Have you ever had a day where everything worked, but nothing mattered? You got up, you ate, you checked the boxes, but inside, it felt like someone turned the volume down on your life. No color, no urgency, just this flat, gray numbness. You're not broken, you're not lazy. There's a reason that emptiness shows up and there's a way out. Viktor Frankl called this feeling the existential vacuum. It's what happens when our lives get efficient but empty, when the calendar is busy but the heart is quiet, and in our world endless scrolling, endless options, endless comparison, this vacuum spreads fast. You don't need another productivity hack. You don't need a louder alarm. You need meaning, because meaning wakes you in a way caffeine never can. Frankl survived the concentration camps with one dangerous belief. Even here, life asks something of me. Not what do I want from life, but what is life asking from me right now? That simple switch from wanting to being wanted can pull you out of numbness. When life becomes a summons, your day stops being a hallway of closed doors. It becomes a question you are strong enough to answer. Maybe you feel tired of everything. Maybe the future looks like a blank wall. Maybe work feels like wet cement drying around your feet. That's not failure. That's a sign. Your inner life is starving for a task, a person, or a posture that gives weight to your steps. Frankl believed meaning shows up through 3 gateways: in what we create, in what we experience we take toward unavoidable suffering. So let's find your gateway. Start small, because meaning loves the concrete. Because meaning loves the concrete. It lives in acts. First, meaning through a deed. Think of one thing you can build, fix, or improve that outlives this hour. Not for your ego, for a person, a problem, a place. Repair the cabinet your mother keeps apologizing for. Write a note that saves a friend from a silent slide into loneliness. Clean one corner of your street that makes strangers breathe easier. These are small, but they are not small. They say, I answer to something beyond my comfort. Second, meaning through encounter. When you feel numb, become a careful witness. Pay attention to one person or one thing as if it's the last time you'll see it. Your child's laugh, that specific shadow on the kitchen table, your grandmother's hands. Meaning arrives when you allow something or someone to address you. Slow down, let the world knock. Third, meaning through attitude. There are wounds we can't erase. Illness, loss, betrayal, news we didn't choose. Frankl's hardest truth was also his gentlest gift. Even when we can't change the situation, we can choose the direction of our gaze. Pain doesn't get the last word if we refuse to give it the last meaning. Right now, numbness might feel like an ocean, but oceans are crossed by the next wave, not by wishing for a bridge. So here is a practice for the next 24 hours. Choose your North Star question. What is life asking of me in this moment, in this place, with these people? Write it on a sticky note. Put it on your phone. Every time you catch yourself drifting, ask it, not what do I feel like? Not what will give me a dopamine hit. Ask the question that gives your pain a direction. Let's get more concrete. Some days, meaning comes through craft. If your work feels like pushing sand, pick a tiny portion you can complete with love. Code the function so clean a stranger would thank you. Stir the soup like you're teaching your hands to be kind. Fold the shirt as if the person who wears it needs a little dignity. You're not just moving fabric. You're shaping a life that people will move through. Some days, meaning comes through service. Who near you is carrying something heavy that you can carry for 10 minutes? A neighbor who lost a job. A cousin who can't rest because their mind won't quiet. You can't fix their life. but you can sit with them so they aren't alone in it. Remember, numbness starves when you feed someone else. And some days, meaning comes through defiance. The pain says, stop. Your soul replies, watch me stand. Frankl called this the defiant power of the human spirit. It's not aggression, it's dignity. It's the whisper that says, even here, I will decide who I become. You might ask, what about motivation? What about those brutal mornings when your body is up, but your mind stays on the floor? Here's a secret. Meaning precedes motivation. We wait for a feeling to carry us, but feelings follow footsteps. Choose one step today that honors something larger than your mood. If that's a text to a friend, send it. If it's a single push-up, do it. If it's 5 minutes of reading that stretches your courage, set a timer and start. Meaning builds momentum like a flywheel, slow, then heavy, then alive. This numbness you feel often grows in silence, fed by screens that promise warmth but deliver room temperature distraction. Try a gentle fast 1 hour tonight without your phone. During that hour, do one thing slowly. Wash dishes and watch the water. Walk without music and listen to the neighborhood breathe. Read 2 pages of a book you wish you had read 10 years ago. The point isn't discipline for its own sake. It's to hear your life again. If anxiety sits under your numbness, try a countermove Frankl loved. Paradoxical intention. You don't bully fear. You look at it, name it, and, in a small way, lean into it. If you're afraid of the awkward silence in a meeting, aim to be okay with 2 seconds of it. If you dread insomnia, become curious about 1 minute awake. This isn't magic. It's a way to rob fear of the script it keeps handing you. Now a different angle. The future can feel like a cliff. Too many paths, too many outcomes, too many ways to fail. Frankl's counsel would be simple. Stop trying to choose your destiny. Choose your duty. What duty? To the day in front of you, to the person in the next room, to the work that, if done well, makes one tiny corner of earth more human. When you choose duty, destiny often chooses you. You may be thinking, that sounds noble, but I'm exhausted. I get it. So aim smaller and aim truer. Build 3 anchors in your day. Morning, 1 purposeful action before any screen stretch. Make your bed with care. Step outside and feel the air. Midday, 1 act for someone else, hold a door. Send an encouraging message. Leave a kind review for a local place. Night, 1 reflection, ask, where did life ask something of me today, and how did I answer? That's it. 3 anchors. Keep them for a week. Watch how the grey shifts. There's another layer here. Love. In the camps, Frankl survived by holding a single image, his wife's face. He didn't know if she was alive, but love gave him a horizon. Who is your horizon? A child you haven't met yet. An elder who taught you to speak honestly. The friend who texted back at 2 a.m. when you feel numb. Recall a face. Let that memory ask you to stand. If you've suffered loss real, shattering loss, you might hate the idea that suffering can be meaningful. That's okay. Meaning isn't a shortcut around grief. It's a handrail through it. Frankl never claimed pain is good. He simply refused to let pain declare your life worthless. If all you can do today is breathe and not curse your heartbeat, that is an honorable stance. If all you can do is water a plant because it depends on you, that is a thread of meaning. Hold it. Consider this reframing when the emptiness swells. Instead of asking what is the point, ask what point can I make here? There's a difference. One question waits for the world to deliver. The other offers your life as a sentence in the paragraph of the day. If that sentence is short, fine, let it be honest. let it be yours. Where does responsibility enter? Not as a punishment, but as a path. Responsibility means you are capable of response. Not perfect response, not heroic response. Just one faithful reply to the call in front of you, the next email sent with care, the next apology given without excuses, the next boundary set without rage. Responsibility is meaning in motion. If you struggle with procrastination, try the one honest unit experiment. Pick a task. Define a unit so small it feels almost silly. 10 lines of code, 1 paragraph, 3 plates washed. Do the unit for someone beyond you. Your future self counts. Then stop. Celebrate the unit. Repeat later. Tiny, honest units change self-respect, and self-respect changes lives. In moments of paralysis, when you can't choose between good options, ask Frankl's question another way. Which choice lets me become the person I respect? Not the richest, not the safest, the most self-respecting. Often, that answer is quiet but steady. Trust it. Halfway through this, pause. I want to hear from you. Which small act of meaning will you try tonight? Service, craft, or attitude? Tell me in the comments. And if this helped you breathe a little easier, subscribe so we can keep walking through this together. Back to the work. If your days feel like copy-paste, introduce friction on purpose, the good kind. Walk a new route. Learn one unfamiliar word. Ask a question instead of hiding behind a statement. Novelty makes the mind wake up, and waking up is the first mercy. Bring other people into your meaning. Invite a friend to a 20-minute repair. Fix something, clean something, donate something. End with tea. You aren't just improving a space. You're training your nervous system that effort can end in connection. And when you fail, you will practice a decent recovery. Not a perfect one. Decent means you don't ruin a day to punish an hour. You don't need to start Monday. You need to start at the next breath. Frankl's life says, there is still something demanded of you. If you're here, you're needed. Here's a quiet ritual for nights when the numbness won't lift. Sit. Put your feet on the floor. Name 3 things you did today that someone else would have had to do if you didn't exist. Maybe you answered a message. Maybe you fed a cat. Maybe you locked a door. Thank yourself, not as a trophy, but as recognition. You carried a weight. Then ask, what small weight can I shoulder tomorrow? Write it down. Sleep with purpose, waiting. Some of you are battling storms that don't show up on camera. Linus, debt, a relationship that barely breathes. I'm not telling you to smile through it. I'm asking you to choose the noblest posture you can sustain today. Sometimes nobility is taking medicine on time. Sometimes it's telling the truth. Sometimes it's refusing to speak to yourself with contempt. Frankl's defiant spirit lives in these quiet rebellions. One more thing. The world will offer you 1,000 replacement meanings. Status, speed, attention, numbing. They're loud and shallow, and they end in panic. Real meaning is usually quieter. It arrives as a responsibility, a face, a task, a vow. It's not about grand destiny. It's about faithful presence. If you hold that line here, now your life will grow roots. So, if you feel numb and tired of life, hear this. Nothing is wrong with your capacity to feel. Your feelings went into hiding because they were not being asked for anything real. Ask them for something real. Invite them back with work offered in love, with attention given as a gift, with a posture that refuses to be mastered by pain. You are not a machine to be optimized. You are a person with a soul that longs to answer a call. the call is already here. In the dish that needs washing, in the message that needs sending, in the boundary that needs guarding, in the breath that needs kindness. Meaning is not elsewhere, it's at arm's length. Tonight, pick one small act that says, I am needed and I will answer. Let that sentence be the first light. Tomorrow, add another. Over time, light remembers how to be a room, and rooms become homes, and homes become havens, and havens change streets. That's how grey turns to colour, not in a rush, in a rhythm. Frankl endured the worst darkness a human can know and still said yes to life. Not because life was easy, but because life still asked. Let that be your courage. When the numbness returns, and it will, don't argue with it. Ask your better question. What is life asking of me right now? Then do the next small, faithful thing. This is how a person becomes whole, one honest answer at a time.